everyone's been hearing about the saga between Myles Garrett and the Cleveland Browns. Myles Garrett saying that he wanted a chance to win. He asked for a trade request, asked for the Cleveland Browns to trade him because he wanted to have a chance to win, have a chance to be successful. He asked for a meeting with the owner of the Browns, and the owner said, you can go speak to the GM. This is a contract issue. Myles Garrett coming out in quotes saying it's not about the money. It's about a chance to win. Bullshit. Today, Myles Garrett signed
Absolutely.
a record 4-year contract extension, which is the most ever guaranteed money for a non-quarterback in league history. $122.8 million in guaranteed money. His deal going to average $40 million a year. He is now
What
the
did I
league's
do wrong?
highest paid non-quarterback. So it's a 4-year deal. So he's now signed up for 6 years because he still had 2 years left on his original deal. $122.8 million in guaranteed money for a total value contract, $204.8 million with $100 million in cash over the first 3 years. That's on top of his original 2 years that were already there. And he also has a no trade clause in this contract. Now, granted, his numbers do warrant it. He's 29 years old, has 102 and a half career sacks, third most before the age of 30. Third most before the age of 30, trailing only Reggie White and Jared Allen. First person ever with 14 or more sacks in 4 consecutive seasons, a streak that is currently active. And he he got this new deal after leading the NFL in tackles for loss and co-leading the league in total quarterback pressures. Also, second most sacks last year. But was it about the winning or was it about the money?
For the love of money. Because that's all it was about. Because the Browns is a sinking ship that got hit with like 12 cannonballs. Bro, like, come on. Like, God bless Jameis Winston for trying his best.
I love me some Jameis Winston, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he has a job forever someplace. It may not be as a quarterback, but he has a
is
job.
So charismatic.
He is. He is. Like, and it's funny, but we'll get to James Winston another time. But on Myles Garrett, take the money. I get it. And with the no trade clause, you pretty much control your future and where you want to go, which is that's what it's looking like. Why he agreed to the extension, because he didn't originally have a no trade clause. So if he's telling his owner, the GM, "Hey, trade me," bet you're going to the damn wherever you're going.
Shanghai
wherever.
Sharks.
Right. Yeah. You're going to play for the London Tea Party over there. Like, we'll get you back, a bag of cookies for you. It won't, like, so he has more control over his future. Plus, the guaranteed money, again, gives him more control over his future. Now, we're going back. Is it about the money? Absolutely, it's about the money. It's not about winning at this point, especially when you're playing for the Browns. But, again, he now controls his future, and we'll have to see what he does. He'll probably still ask for a trade, but now he gets to pick where he wants to go.
Big win for Clutch Sports, by the way. Clutch Sports, his representing agency. So they just win left, right, and center.
They know how to finesse.
Tay, initially when Garrett announced his trade request back on February 3rd, so it's only been a little over a month since he officially asked for a trade, he said that his goal was never to go from Cleveland to Canton, the Hall of Fame. It has always been to compete for and win a Super Bowl. He said that he did not want to endure another rebuild with the Browns, who are coming off a 3-14 season and hold the number 2 overall pick this year. And as I said, he requested a meeting.
Hypocritical. Absolutely. You are right, Pete. I have no. You said, like I said, you had the smoothest little entrance with it. I'm not gonna. Money talks. But who else is gonna pick him up for that price tag? That wasn't a team that was already like on the come up or better. You have to think about that too. Where else would he have gone? That was on the road to a championship.
I'm about to say we could have took him.
At this point, we need to. At this point, you know what? Matt is going to be insufferable if Aaron Rodgers comes to the Giants. You know that, right?
That is the prevailing rumor right now.
Yeah, I heard that they're balls deep in the negotiations.
Yep. Apparently, because they struck out on Matthew Stafford.
What am I going to do?
Stafford. They wanted Stafford.
What am I going to do?
Well,
after years of trolling on this show,
with his wide receiver, he's not coming with Devontae Adams because Devontae is now with the Rams for a 2-year deal.
We have decent receivers in the Giants. We just didn't have a fucking quarterback. That's the thing. We had decent receivers. Now, mind you, what if he comes to New York and does well? Then I would have to sit here and be wrong for one of the first times in my life. I don't know.
But how good would that make?
You had a good run.
Here's the thing.
You had a good run.
2 things to that, Tay, right? One, the Giants are so dug in on getting a veteran quarterback because Dable and Shane need someone to win now so they can prove their worth of continued investment. Because you bring in a young quarterback, they struggle because it's a young quarterback, and then you get dropped before you get a chance to develop them. But think about how good that would look for Dable. You have Aaron Rodgers coming in, who stunk it up with the Jets. And he comes to the Giants and has a career year. It'll make Dable look like $1 million.
But Dable, but look what they gave Dable to work with. I mean, none of this is Dable's fault.
You know that. I know that. Smart fans know that. But the majority of fans for any team are led by this and not this.
But you know what? If Aaron Rodgers comes to the to the Giants, I think it's going to be time for me to move over to Detroit until Dan Campbell's no longer there. That's my de facto team.
You're going to abandon the Giants.
I'm just going to stay, and I'm just going to keep my second team will be my first team. Ravens Nation.
Yeah, I've been saying. Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear shit.
I'll go to root for Buffalo.
At that point,
yeah, absolutely. I need a New York team.
I need a New York team. All right, fucking Josh Allen. You know, I feel bad.
He's good.
But absolutely not. Absolutely not. But Pete, you made a couple of really good points, especially about like the Miles Garrett talk and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, we're all in the same. There's no real debating there. You know, like you said, the Giants could have used him. You know, he would have been productive. But at the end of the day, who's taking on that? If you want to win and have your legacy attached with winning, you know, the Giants wouldn't have been it. You're only looking at maybe 4 or 5 teams. If that you have, you know, you have the freaking the Lions, you have the fucking the Chiefs, you have the Ravens, you have, and these teams are one piece away from, you know, beating the Eagles or whoever, right? It's not him. Not for that price tag. So at the end of the day, his agents negotiated a hell of a deal. Now you take your money, you shut up, and you go on your mediocre ass team. That's what you wanted, right? That's what you got.
Also, by the way, another team.
Damn, I look ashy.
Another team giving out an extension. Just kind of flew under the radar a couple of days ago.
Fucking vampire.
But the Philadelphia Eagles.
It's still winter.
This is true.
But you know that's when that 20-something% be coming out of my jeans, because in the winter.
Yo, stop. Stop.
Don't with you.
No, I turn red. Look, I'm wiping grease on my face, and my face is turning red.
Pete, what did the Eagles do? What did the championship Eagles do?
Titletown, the Eagles, and again, this flew a bit under the radar. The Eagles gave Saquon Barkley a 2-year contract extension.
That wasn't under the radar, just under the radar for Adnan's talk. We sit there and talk about who's doing this in the bedroom, and we could have been talking about that.
2 years, $41.2 million contract extension, makes him the highest paid running back in NFL history. $36 million guaranteed at signing, meaning that his unguaranteed money is only $5.2 million. Makes him the first NFL running back getting more than $20 million a year. And he also has an ability to earn an additional $15 million in incentives and escalators such as yardage, Pro Bowls, playoff wins, making the playoffs, things like that. You can earn it up to an extra $15 million. So you go from we don't pay running backs, a team that we don't pay running backs after a certain age, to, hey, here's the richest running back contract.
Here's the bag.
Ever.
I mean, it saved the league because let me tell you something. We talked about it ad nauseum on this podcast a couple of times. We were talking about the fact that, and this was conversations we've had very early that we haven't really touched on because the league was kind of trending that way. Running backs started to become like a dying art in the league. You know, you had one that was kind of popular for 1 or 2 years, 3 years at most, and then they'd fade off into obscurity. Everybody, because of Travis Kelce, everybody cared about the tight end position because the tight end position kind of gives you a little bit of a running back and a little bit of a receiver and a little bit of a defender. So people were riding on that wave that hard. So when there were no other real tight ends really stepping up to the plate this season, because this one was hurt, Kelce wasn't himself. What's his name again? Oh, Kittle, who's one of my favorites. You know, that's no one was stepping up to that. So it was, and then when you see Saquon having a lights out, crazy ass year, you know, it kind of saved what it meant to be a running back in the league at this point. So yes, get your money. Yes, I'm happy. Yes, fuck the Giants for what they did. The Giants leadership, I would say.
Yep.
They fumbled the bag, but Saquon wouldn't be in this situation with the Giants. People say, well, why didn't he do that with the Giants? Because he couldn't.
He couldn't. Every time he touched the ball in the backfield, somebody back there. So.
Yeah. He would have got paid, but he would have still been on a 2-11 team or a 1-16 team. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is. What it is.
And I think he changed the narrative around running backs. So running backs are back